You done?
Yeah. I think it's all the dry. Like, I don't know what's going on. I have not been coughing. What were we talking about?
Hey, welcome back to the show. So today we wanted to yap on a topic called done, not perfect. And I'm sure you've heard this before. We've said it before. Other photographer people have said it before, but it's true. Letting go of perfection. And we are going to be your tough love little people today. And we mean little because we are little.
Think of this as a pep talk from your besties, because we are going to talk about how having things done is so much better than perfect.
Well, and like, even if you just get it out there, that's when you can start to tweak it. That's when you can start to see how people are responding to that content. If you need to change an image out, if you need to change copy out, whatever the project that you are working on, just get it done. And I don't know, C's get degrees, whatever. But like, the more you get it done and get it out there, the more you can start to tweak it, the more you can refine your message, the more you can take your own client through the client journey with you, because you're getting it out there, you're showing them what you can do, what you want to do, you're getting them excited, and people want to be excited for you, with you.
Okay, I'm getting fired up about this as you're talking, because I'm like, there are so many ways we can take this, and we should touch on all these points. In business, like you were talking about how getting it done is so much better than perfect, and trying it, and you learn from failure. You learn from things that don't work. And instead of looking at it like, oh, okay, that didn't work, like, woe is me, which we all have those moments sometimes, right? Like, we all need a good wallow moment sometimes. But we can't live there. We can't live there. And after that, like, trying to figure out, okay, that didn't work. And it doesn't mean that we're failing. It just means that that's another thing that we can cross off, and we can try a new theory and test out something new. But also in motherhood, I feel like there are so many aspects where we're like, okay, well, they're supposed to have this many like vitamins and whatever during breakfast, and this isn't going to last all day, and their clothes aren't XYZ. And it's like, your children, like, you care. They are fed, they are loved, they are cared for. Done is better than perfect.
And if you are sleeping on Walmart clothes, you're missing out.
Wake up.
Oh my gosh, no, but seriously, I cannot tell you how many times, like, when I first entered motherhood, I wanted to have my kids decked out in Zara, and, you know, the perfect color coordination, and have their hair a certain way, and
little H&M babies.
Yes. But then, like, the further I got into it, I was like, none of that matters. They're happy, they're fed.
They're gonna grow out of them. They're gonna get ripped. They're gonna get dirty.
We got the job done that day. The job of that day was to have fun, and to make sure everyone ate, make sure everybody went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do the extra laundry.
Well, and my oldest is getting old enough now too, where she'll recount things that we did as a family, or talk about fun times we had.
Oh, like in Bluey?
Yes. And none of them are ever about how perfect something was, like, or how something was done well, or how they were dressed. It's all about the experience that they had. And so sometimes I think that we need to, like, remember that, because they don't care. Like, how many times have you thought about your own childhood and you're like, oh yeah, my pants were really dirty that day. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
never.
Yeah. Like, it's all about just doing your best, and not, we talk about this a lot, but really just trying to push that comparison aside. I think social media has really changed this generation for sure, but I have noticed a lot of people, like, pulling back on it. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of being like, yeah, no, you know what? This isn't realistic. This isn't whatever.
This isn't my vibe. This isn't what I actually want. Mm-hmm. I would rather be messy, dirty, having fun, making memories. And it's so much fun to be in the messy part, whether it's business or motherhood, because then, like, looking back when it's over, you're like, that was fun.
Yes. Well, this has been my first year. Like, tail end of last year into this year has been one of the first times where I've been so okay with accepting how I do things and how somebody else does things without feeling like I'm doing it wrong. You know,
You're doing it all wrong.
I can facts. I can watch a video, right, where everything is super aesthetic and everybody's house is super organized and everything's labeled, and I can watch it and appreciate it. Like before I would watch it and I'd be like, well, crap. Like I suck. And then I would go into this spiral of like, oh, I should be doing this better, this better. And now I can look at it and be like, I really appreciate that they did that. This is really satisfying. I like seeing that, but that is not me, and that's okay.
Are you talking about like the fridge organization videos?
Oh, I used to love watching those.
But like, that is so not me.
Dude, I have like leftovers from like 2 weeks ago in the back of my fridge.
I just cleaned out. We had a leftovers night. The fridge is empty. I need to go. Anyway, see, this is what we're talking about. I need to go to Walmart. I am out of groceries. I need to go do these things. My pantry, everything is in its original boxes. It's not perfect. It's done. And my kids know where their snacks are and they're still fed.
Okay, did you go through the phase of putting stuff in your pantry into different? I went through that. And when I look back, I'm like, that is so dumb of me to do. It works for other people. I'm not saying if you do that, it's dumb. I'm saying for me and with my kids, like I would get the containers I got maybe were the issue too, where it's like, okay, I'm buying something in a container and then putting it in another container. First of all, what? and then there wasn't like, I would also have this like original container because it didn't fully empty it. So now I have 2 containers.
It's literally
For why?
I want it to look perfect for that one person to run through my front door and be like, see, it's not perfect. And it's like, nobody's doing that for your business. Nobody's doing that for your motherhood journey. And if they are, boo. Goodbye.
Girl, bye.
Snip, snip. Snip, snip.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
But like, seriously, I look at other people's businesses and I think that is so cool that they're doing that. I don't actually know that that's not their perfect. Like, and you might be looking at my business and being like, holy crap, Jamie's got it all together. I promise you, this is not even close to all together. I think of things on the fly. I change my mind. Like last year, if you were to ask me at this time, I was telling you that I was going to move to Washington. Did that happen? No.
We're glad it didn't.
Sorry. We started a podcast. We started house projects. It's fine. You're allowed to pivot. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to say things and do things and then do something else.
Because we live in seasons.
Yes. And you don't have to be perfect in any season. You might do something perfectly one day. I'm not saying you'll never do something perfectly, but like perfect in my mind is not the goal. I want clients to be happy. I want my kids to be happy. I want the experience to be the goal.
Well, and having the mindset of going into business and realizing like we can always make things better. That's kind of what we do as business owners, right? Like we have something done and then we're like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I improve this? How can I pivot this? How can I change it? And I think it's so okay to put something out there and then realize that, okay, no, just because it's out there, that doesn't have to be the final like end all be all. Like that's what it is for now in this season that I'm in. And then I'm going to work on other things and I can come back to it. I can tweak it. I can change it. And being okay with that.
I think that brings up like you saying that just brought up an idea for me, where say you're working on the perfect landing page, right? And you think the copy's perfect. You think the image placements are perfect. You think everything, it can't go wrong. But then it does. And then you start to feel defeated because in your head, you told yourself everything was the way it was supposed to. It was the right branding colors. It was the right message, but it didn't hit. It didn't slap.
Right. Well, and I know we've talked about this before too, using Hotjar or Mouseflow and having that concept like, okay, this is a perfect landing page. Everything is great. And then watching how people are on your site or on your landing page and it doesn't hit them the same, or they scroll right past the section that you spent forever on, you thought would hit and it doesn't, and you have to readjust, and it's okay.
Well, and that's why it's like, you can't focus on the perfect. You have to just get it done, get it out there, start to test and see how people are going to respond to it. Because at the end of the day, you don't know until you put it out there.
And my and I know this is the same for you too. It's like my business is not the same as it was months ago or even a year ago. And if it were the same as it was years ago, we wouldn't be where we're at right now.
No.
Like things are always changing. And also when you think about the person that you have in your head or that you've been thinking of that you're like, oh man, like I wish I had my stuff together like that person, or I wish I had these systems like this person or these resources like this person. You don't know everything else that's going on behind the scenes. Nobody has everything together. Nobody has a perfect day to day. Like some people have more like attention to detail in some areas, or like natural, like things that come easier to them in certain areas than others. And I think we get insecure when we look at other people and the things that we aren't naturally as good at, we see other people that are, and that's where we kind of pick ourselves apart without realizing that like, oh, we're actually really good at this area though.
Well, and I was thinking about this actually between us the other day, because I was thinking about like our coaching students, and in my head, you bring the vibes and I bring the technology. And I don't even know if that makes sense, because like between our two different coaching styles, I'm always looking at like the technology behind it, the coding of everything. And you're always looking at like, okay, let's do this. How does this match? How does this translate with emotions and feelings? And I'm just like, how does this work with zeros and ones?
You are like the numbers girly and I am the like, I don't even know.
But then like, I get in my head sometimes that you're better at our social media because I just don't think about things that you do. But see,
then I'm always like, man, Jamie is so much better at like blogging and stuff like that. Like the numbers, the behind the stuff, you know, it's like,
so funny.
That's why when we come together, it's perfect.
It is. There's that word. No. But seriously, that's what we're talking about, is your strengths are not someone else's strengths. But then when you all sort of figure it out and you kind of just, you bring the magic in your own way because you know what you're naturally good at. And if there is something that you're not naturally good at, just ask us. We might be able to point you in the right direction of somebody, or we might be able to help you with something. I know I'm not naturally good at culling. No, but like I guess in your opinion, I am good at blogging, but there's just certain things that other people might be able to help you with. And I don't want you to get caught up thinking, well, I'm not good at that. It's not perfect, so I'm just not going to do it. That stops right now. Getting it out there is the goal. Even if it's not like your best effort, say it is your C work. I want you to put it out there. I want you to try. I want you to just take me through the journey. I want to know why I should hire you. I want to know your story, because at a human level, our basic human level, if we go way back in time, humans want to connect through story. So take me through your story. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, I don't want it to be perfect. I want to know the tea.
Yeah, we don't want perfect.
I want to know the messy.
We want relatable.
Yes. So the more that something is out there and you're working on it and you're showing someone how passionate you are, the more it's going to draw people in anyway. And the more eyes you get on it, the more you can tweak it, the better you can make it. And you can achieve that quote unquote perfection level, but then you're going to change it again. And I'm not saying that as a way of like never being satisfied. It's just you're always going to be improving something in business. That's just how business works.
Well, and for the instances where we have something that we're trying to work on where we don't feel super confident or we don't feel like is a strong suit for us, those are the things that are amazing to outsource when you get to that point. Like you can connect with people who are great at SEO or blogging or a website or whatever. Like community at the end of the day and finding your people, it makes all the difference. Nobody has all the answers for everything. They don't. I know too, if you ask Jamie and I, when the education that we have gone through and the coaches we have worked with personally, we've learned different things from different ones because each of them has a different strong suit. Even if they're all great at a lot of things, they all did bring a certain aspect to the table that was helpful.
And you know what's so funny is we've invested in the same educators and we've still taken different things from them.
Yeah. It's like when you read a book and then, or watch a movie and you find certain details the first time and then you watch it again and you're like, oh, wait a minute. And you like notice a completely different thing the second time.
Yes. I love doing that. Like, if there's certain shows or something that I could rewatch just to pick up on the little things, and that another point of why you shouldn't focus on perfection is people notice the little things. I was literally just about to say how I notice the little editing tweaks or behind the scenes actors or things like that, or just the little facial acting. People notice those things. And those aren't perfect things. Those aren't perfect lighting. They aren't perfect, but people crave that. They want the reality. They want the real life. They want the story.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we're too far in it. Like we're too enmeshed in our own industry or our own business that we are missing things that are right in front of our face or things that we think should be perfect or whatever. And to other people, they're not going to notice like industry standard or whatever, you know, because like if we have clients that are looking at our photography websites, there's probably some things about photography that we feel like we should notice or that our clients would notice that they don't. Oh, you know what I mean?
That happens a lot because I think I've even had this conversation before about just like color correcting versus retouching and the things that I notice just in a color corrected image that my clients think is a final image. And I'm like, no, this. And my client they didn't see it. They didn't see it the way that I saw it. In their head, the image was already perfect. Can we go back and count how many times we've said the word perfect in this episode? But seriously, they're like between editing, between your website, a landing page, copywriting, Instagram posts, threads, all the things, you're going to what's that word I'm looking for?
Contribute?
Nope. Where you're judging it. Critique. There we go.
It's not even close.
Nope. You're going to critique yourself so much. And I just don't want you to beat yourself up to the point of not doing it. I feel like that's the lesson of this episode is we really just want to drive home that you're allowed to do things messy. You're allowed to do things in whatever order makes sense to your brain. Just get it done. Just get it done, get it out there, and then go from there.
By doing that, I think the one thing that people will notice when you do something and you keep trying and you keep pushing, even if you fail or you mess up or you don't feel great about yourself, they'll notice that you don't give up.
Yeah.
They'll notice that you're not quitting. They'll notice that you are still working, you're still pushing, you're still doing these things and your passion for it and your why.
And even if you think, well, no one's even paying attention to me, you probably have silent followers that are watching your every move and they are possibly cheering you on without commenting, without liking. But you would be surprised how down the road someone will be like, well, I know that you post about this, this, and this. And you're like, whoa, how did you know that about me? But you did it. You put it out there. It wasn't perfect, but you still did it anyway. And people are still going to notice. They notice when you care. They notice when you don't care. They know what's going on.
Exactly. And yeah, at the end of the day too, like I know this is a little bit of a side tangent, but not too much and something that we have talked about, but having that friend too, that you can talk to about those things you're going through or who can help you look over stuff and be there for you. I think community at the end of the day is like so big, especially for mom photographers. We talk about the village and all that stuff all the time, but it's a big deal. Sometimes you even just have to vent. I think sometimes you don't even really have to change anything or there's nothing in particular that's wrong. You just need to vent. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm good.
Well, if I'm being so for real right now for this perfection episode, I am personally struggling with TikTok content because in my head, I'll doom scroll too much, right? And because I'm doom scrolling, I'll see all of these really cool girl photographers that are posting amazing content, amazing photos. And I'm like, well, why should I post this? I look like a dork. I have a giant pimple on my face. I don't have makeup on. I never have makeup on. And then I get in my own head. I'm like, my content's not perfect, so why does it matter? And then I channel my inner Kelsey Freeman. Kelsey, if you're listening.
Shout out, Kelsey.
But like, I channel my inner Kelsey and I'm like, just post the content. Just post the content.
Yes. Yeah. And most of the time, the ones that are all put together, like the videos that are all put together and the houses that are all put together, that stuff's fun to watch. But I relate to the people that are real and relatable and their stuff isn't all put together and they're just showing up.
Well, and just because I know Kelsey has been liking my TikToks, I feel like she's silently cheering me on just for posting content. Like, I know this is hard for you, Jamie, and I'm proud of you. And like today, I posted a whole series of getting my camera gear ready for an elopement this weekend, and my film camera wouldn't turn on. And I was legit recording a TikTok when I was making that. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm going to post this anyway. and I'm like, this is the weirdest. And each video, I think, got 100 to 300 views. But then I keep trying to remind myself, like, ugh, I only got 100 views. Actually, if I had 100 people in my house right now, my house would be overcrowded.
That would be wild.
So I'm trying to flip my mindset out of perfection because I still personally struggle with it, especially with TikTok content. But you're not alone. Everybody struggles with the perfection content stuff.
And I love Leandra Brienne. I don't know if you've ever watched her stuff.
Yes.
It's actually stout. But I did a session for them, and then I've been following her, and she is also one of those really relatable moms who makes cooking like videos or just like stuff of her nails. I talk with her here and there still. And that's kind of one of those, like, since I did her session, she'll like some of my posts and comment on them. And I'm like, thanks, Girly Pop.
I feel encouraged to keep going. I am also, in a way, perfection jealous of the younger generation in a way. I feel like they are so good at content that my brain just can't grasp. And I'm not good at content in the way that somebody else is probably really good at content, but I'm still making the content that makes sense to me, that makes me happy, that shares my story, and just kind of, I'm very good at the rambly content, I guess. That's usually what I like posting, or just like a day in a life. I really enjoy vlog style, but I'm terrible at trends. I can't dance.
I don't do trends. I have found joy in actually posting. I'll post some photo stuff here and there, but on my TikTok, I have found joy in posting personal stuff that I just enjoy that is relatable. So that way, like, two of my clients do find it. It's like, oh, I love thrifting too. I love making coffee too. So all mine is basically coffee and thrifting, but it's been fun, and it's been a fun way to incorporate me into my brand and put it out there, but also make sure that it doesn't feel like, oh, well, I have to do that today, and I have to like make sure that this looks perfect and this whatever.
Well, and we're all just searching for a way to connect with other people like us that are also interested in what we're interested in. And we're more than just moms. We're more than just photographers.
Exactly.
I'm into Apple and board games and technology and spreadsheets. No.
The numbers girl.
But like,
I'm here for thrifting and coughing and vibes.
it's so true though. It's so true, because I would find so much joy right now in like just computers.
I'm like, take me to a thrift store.
Anyway, so the point today, just to wrap this whole episode up, don't get discouraged if you don't feel like you're perfect at something. Get it done, get it out there, and then start to analyze how your personal audience responds to it. Mouseflow, Hotjar, they are great tools for watching people, how they interact with your content on your website. Check your Google Analytics, make sure you're keeping track of those things. With your content, see if you get certain comments and likes on certain kinds of posts and not on others. Don't be afraid to try new things. Just do the damn thing.
And my last note on it too is actually try it. Don't just do something once and test it once. Don't just watch somebody.
Well, that didn't work.
On your website once. Don't just post something once. Don't just try out one guide once. Like, you need to be consistent and try it multiple times and keep doing it until you actually have enough information on how something is doing. Just don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. We're here for you. You can always slide into our DMs because we're professional yappers. And we'll see you next Tuesday. All right?
Bye.
Bye.